We are now on the NFC North. NFC North, yes, Detroit Lions. Making sure that I got that right. A lot of words this weekend. Round 1, they go with Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle from Ohio State. Round 2, Tate Ratledge, the guard from Georgia. Round 3, Isaac Tesla, the wide receiver from Arkansas. But not just that third-round pick. What did they give up? Basically 3 third-round picks to move up and go get Isaac Tesla there. So no 4th-round pick for them. Guard Miles Frazier from LSU in the 5th round. Ahmed Hassanin, the edge rusher from Boise State in the 6th. Dan Jackson, the safety from Georgia in the 7th. And then a fellow Georgia Bulldog, Dominic Lovett, from Georgia as well as their final pick. Fellas, what do we think?
A lot of Dan Campbell picks here, but I think something that's going to be intriguing is the guard battle. You have 2 spots, obviously, on the left and right side. Graham Glasgow, the veteran, who had a 49.8 pass blocking grade this past year. Christian Mahogany, who played a few games, a rookie out of Boston College last year. And now Tate Ratledge, their 2nd-round pick. This is going to be a fun battle to watch for both of those spots. I think it wouldn't shock me at all if the 2 young kids were the ones that won the battle. Ratledge, really athletic, great pass protector.
Yeah, a guy. I was kind of surprised they did not take an edge rusher until the 6th round in the draft. But they got a really good one. Like a really good one in Ahmed Hassanin. Actually, the first Egyptian-born player ever selected in the NFL draft. Very cool story there. He was a dominant player at Boise State this past year, too. So, again, it was weird they didn't take one until the 6th round of the draft, but they still got a really good one in the 6th round of Ahmed Hassanin.
Jackson Meeks, the wide receiver from Syracuse. Caden Prescorn, the tight end from Ole Miss. Some notable undrafted free agents there. I like the Dan Jackson pick, man. I really do. I watched Dan Jackson's film very late, and I was like, this dude should absolutely get drafted. I had him, I think, top 200, right around 200. He was like 199 or 200, 201 for me.
They
can't remember exactly where it was.
3 Georgia Bulldogs in that draft.
It's not a bad program.
No, it's not.
Not a bad program.
They're taking the Eagles model is what they're doing.
Yeah, and so I think Dan Jackson could legitimately be a special team stud for them, and maybe even somebody who gets in that rotation as a safety from a walk-on position at Georgia, doing the same there. Green Bay Packers, they took Matthew Golden, ended the drought of taking a wide receiver in the 1st round. First time they've taken a wide receiver in the 1st round since 2002. So Matthew Golden there. I love the clip of them announcing Matthew Golden's name. The crowd there, just an incredible crowd pop. It was awesome to hear. Anthony Belton, the offensive lineman from NC State, in the 2nd round. Savion Williams in the 3rd. Barron Sorrell in the 4th. Colin Oliver in the 5th. Warren Brinson, the defensive tackle from Georgia, in the 6th. Michael Robinson, the cornerback from Tulane, in the 7th. And then John Williams, the tackle from Cincinnati, in the 7th as well. What do we think about this haul?
Listen, I hate that he's wearing number 22. That's a wild number for a wide receiver to wear. But this is a great pick for Green Bay right here, Matthew Golden. So I think he's a guy that speed is what they need in that receiving core right there. Ran a 4.29 in the 40-yard dash. And Don even mentioned before, if he's just a decoy on some plays, that's very valuable, right? Because safeties have to respect that speed too. So that's what they're missing in the receiving core. They needed speed in the receiving core, and they got the fastest receiver in the draft. I actually like that pick a lot.
The threat of speed and the additional protection for Jordan Love, I mean, for any quarterback, especially young quarterback, is going to be paramount. I'm with you. Golden adds a dimension that their offense just didn't have, especially with Christian Watson having so many injuries the last couple of years. I'm a little puzzled by this Anthony Belton pick in the 2nd round. I'm not sure it's a great scheme fit. I like Belton as a player, absolutely, even in this range. The Packers are just a little puzzling to me. Now, I look at their offensive line. Aaron Banks is going to start at 1 guard spot. Elgin Jenkins, we think, is moving to center. Zach Tom's going nowhere at right guard. But I think this left tackle and this right guard spot is really interesting with Belton here, with Rasheed Walker here. Jordan Morgan, last year's 1st-round pick, played some guard, but battling through injuries. Sean Ryan was decent, played at right guard most of the year. So I think you got a couple battles here, just like we did in Detroit on the offensive line in Green Bay, and Belton could be a factor. I'm not sure if it'll be a guard or tackle, but he could be a factor in it if we're reading the room right here with him as a 2nd-round pick.
Julian Fleming, wide receiver from Penn State. Tyler Cooper, the guard from Minnesota. Najiri Stackhouse, defensive tackle from Georgia. Jamon Dumas-Johnson, linebacker from Kentucky. A lot of notable undrafted free agents there for them. I like the Colin Oliver pick. I actually think that he could be a good designated pass rusher for them. He's got some incredible juice. Let's go to the Vikings next. 1st round, Donovan Jackson, the offensive lineman from Ohio State. Nothing in the 2nd round. 3rd round, Ty Felton, the wide receiver from Maryland. Nothing in the 4th round. Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, the edge rusher from Georgia, in the 5th round. 6th round linebacker Kobe King. And then tight end Gavin Bartholomew from Pittsburgh as well in the 6th round. Nothing in the 7th round. Not a big haul here for the Minnesota Vikings, but what we think, guys?
I think they probably tried to trade down from number 24 and just couldn't make it happen. So they said, you know what? Get a starting left guard in Donovan
Which is
Jackson,
weird, right? Because 25 and 26 traded down.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know how hard they actually wanted to trade down. I think they might have loved Donovan Jackson.
The Rams got a haul, too,
right,
for number 26.
Right.
So if the Falcons offered that,
Oh yeah, the next 2 picks were both traded. That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
So I mean, maybe they just love Donovan Jackson
I
so
think they
much,
just love Jackson.
and I agree that I don't know that he'll ever be an All-Pro, but he's a surefire starter, right? You want a starting left guard, and you look at this offensive line in Minnesota. Again, the story, it feels like the NFC North, except for the Bears. The offensive lines were the story. Now Christian Darrisaw back healthy, Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, and Will Fries brought over from the Colts. Brian O'Neill's still a good player at right tackle. I think Jackson here, if they weren't going to trade down with so few picks that they had, fine, get a surefire starter, and they feel like Donovan Jackson is that guy. I don't have an issue with the pick itself. If you're going to pick at 24, I have no issue with that.
Is that the best O-line in the NFL right now?
It's up there. I mean,
Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's up there. I mean,
It's up there.
I'm not going to take like Philly or Detroit
Right.
off the
Atlanta, they need
yeah.
a center, but Atlanta's still up there
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, Minnesota, if they're healthy, if Darrisaw comes back and playing the way we know he can play, absolutely, they're in the top 5, I'd say.
Yeah, it's an incredible O-line. I think a really big, another Penn State. I'm sound like a homer here. I do love Kobe King though in the 6th round. He's a thumping linebacker. He could be a really good special teamer for them as well. Don't want him really in coverage that much, but on early downs as a linebacker, as a run defender, he's a really, really good player. So I'm a big fan of Kobe King.
Brian
Actually,
Flores guy
love
right
their
there.
UDFA class as well. Benjamin Urasek, Bryson Nesbitt, Logan Brown, the tackle from Kansas.
That's a good one.
Tyler Beatty, the edge rusher from BYU. I really like the guys that they brought in there. I think that they're potential rosterable
Logan
players.
Brown is a nice fit.
he's
I
got
know.
a
I
lot
can't
of-
believe he didn't. I cannot
He's got
believe he
a
didn't
lot
get
of
drafted.
upside.
Yep.
A lot of upside.
I agree. Bears the last team in this division. First round, they go Colson Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. Second round, Luther Burden, the wide receiver from Missouri. Ozzie Trapillo later in the second round. Shamar Turner even later in the second round there. Third round, nothing. Fourth round, Ruben Hippolyte II, the linebacker from Maryland. Fifth round, Zoff Frazier, the cornerback from UTSA. Sixth round, Luke Newman, the guard from Michigan State. And then seventh round, Kyle Monungai, finally going with the running back there in the 7th round.
This is Ben Johnson's team, is what it is. I mean, the offensive line additions through trades and free agency. Now you go and get Colston Loveland and Luther Burden, and I got to put these two guys together. I don't mean to steal one or the other from you,
ahead.
but it's more not about, we can evaluate them as players all day long, but there are now endless possibilities for what Ben Johnson can do in this offense. This is another team. You've got a potential top 5 offensive line in the NFL, I think, with Dahlman and Tooney and Jackson being added back in there. Wright, Braxton Jones, Ozzie Trapillo as well. But the story for me is going skill player with these first 2 picks, a flexible tight end like Colston Loveland who can win from anywhere in the formation, the most fluid route runner of any tight end in this class. I do understand why he went ahead of Tyler Warren to this specific team, because they must have felt like Warren was a little redundant to Cole Kmet as the traditional tight end.
Right.
Loveland adds such a massive dimension, and then as if they needed any more to add to this offense, they go and get a great value in Luther Burden at 39. And look, this was a team with Keenan Allen last year. They struggled in the slot. They struggled in the passing game in general, but they struggled in the slot. They didn't really know how to use Keenan Allen, how to get the most out of the formations. Burden's going to add the screen element after the catch and a vertical element. This is just there's endless possibilities with this Bears offense right now if they execute.
Isn't your comp in the draft guy for Luther Burden DJ Moore?
No, it's Debo.
No, it's Debo.
Oh, Debo. Okay, you
And
changed.
even then,
Yeah, I've seen comps of DJ Moore before for Luther Burden. Now you get both of them in the same room. They're going scorched earth approach on offense. I know a lot of Bears fans probably were not happy that they didn't take a running back until late in the draft. But listen, Kyle Monungai is still a really good player too. He's a bowling ball running back. Do I think he'll be the number 1 running back in Chicago? No, I don't think he will be. But I think after DeAndre Swift, after Roshan Johnson too, he could be a good player. He's a really good pass blocker too. So I get it. Maybe their biggest need they didn't address until very, very late in the NFL draft, but Kyle Monungai is still a very good player.
Yeah, I think that Monungai could be somebody who becomes that fan favorite in training camp. He really could. So I think the Bears, very big splash haul and very big splash off season as well.